Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
Your favorite podcast is Critical Blast.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
Hi, I'm Dean Zachary, host of Silverline's Wednesday Wham, where we go beyond politics, beyond calculation, and beyond the big two. Join us each and every Wednesday. Don't miss out.
Hi, I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Silverline Wednesday Night Wham! Hosted by me? Question mark? And Roland.
That's right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Silverline Wednesday Wham, or as I've been calling these guys offline, I've been calling them the Whammers. So yeah, it works. So Scott is not going to be able to make it tonight, so we are going to kind of group fill in for him. I'll at least kind of get us kicked off. We'll talk about all kind of cool Silverline stuff. First up is want to talk about the Friar Rush and Bloodline Kickstarter. These are being fulfilled as we speak. Okay, not really as we speak. Half of them should go out tomorrow, and then the other half should go out probably on Friday. So they look good, y'all. They look really good. It's a flip book. So here we go. This is colors by usual or sometimes Wednesday Whammer, Jeremy Kahn. And then we have Friar Rush issue number 1 here, and it also looks good. So it's a good old-fashioned flip book, and we're very excited. Like I said, these are going to go out in the mail tomorrow and Friday. Everything should be in the hands of the U.S. Postal System by the weekend. So we know since the plague is currently going on, it's going to take the U.S. Postal System a little bit longer to get your package to you, or at least that's what they tell us every time we give them something. But it will be speeding its way to you. So there's that. Again, Twilight Grim and Divinity 1 completely done. So you should have your stuff. Kalis 2, though we are still in limbo because we're still waiting on artwork from Lewis in Argentina. And that only unfortunately that only affects or fortunately maybe it depends on which of the ones you are. It only affects about 6 of you. But your books are right over here. You can't see, but they're right over there. And I'm just waiting on artwork before I send them to you. Brent and I have talked a little bit about it, and we may see if we can't come up with a kind of a stopgap because there's no telling how long Argentina will be closed. But the artwork, last I heard from Lewis, it was stuck in customs. So, and then of course, on Tuesday, less than 1 week from now, we are launching our next Kickstarter. That will be Cat and Mouse #3 with Trump's Book 1, which is colored by the lovely Sid, who is here.
Woo! Hi.
So we're very excited about that. And if you're following us on social media, you should have seen us start posting those on all of our various social media outlets. So we ask you, please share, please go take a peek at it. We did something this time that's a little different, and I hope to try to do in the future as well. Is that if you go to I'll give you the link. You can probably search for it. I'm not really sure if you can search for it on Kickstarter yet, but I'll make sure I put the link here. If you go to the link, you can actually click the button that says "Notify me on launch." And we've never done that before. We've just always gone straight live. But now we've got I guess it's just called a pre-launch page. So I'm looking at it right now, and we've got 35 people signed up for it. So we're excited about that. We get those numbers up, of course. And what it'll do, my understanding, you click notify me on launch, and as soon as I hit launch next Tuesday, you'll get an email that says, Roland Mann and Silverline just launched another Kickstarter. Please consider backing them. Don't forget, we have a merch store. Get on over to the link is going to be down in the bottom as well. Get on over to the merch store, take a peek at all the cool stuff that we've got there. As always, if you want something that you don't see in the merch store, you're like, I would really like to have a coffee cup that has this on it. Just let us know. It's relatively easy. It's not like we can do it just like that, but it's relatively easy for us to put something up. But it helps, obviously, if we know what you want, so we can get it up there. Oh shoot, I forgot to do one thing. I'm usually on Sunday, so I'm going to be a little bit off my game. That's why I say I'm going to depend on these guys to help me out. Was that a sneeze? Somebody just sneeze? Should I say bless you? Okay. All right. So we're going to go around. I forget what Scott calls it. I tend to call this Murderer's Row, but I think Scott calls it something else. What does he call it, Tim?
I have no idea.
Okay, well,
I think he just calls that around the screen.
Two is right.
It's Murderer's Row tonight, so we're going to start. I'm Roland. I'm kind of the chief wrangler. Silverline, and as just noted, I also am the writer of Cat and Mouse and Trumps. C. Michael, why don't you introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are?
I am C. Michael Lenning from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I am working on the rejects with head honcho Roland Mann.
That's right.
And you'll be seeing some of that tonight, some of my messy artwork, and hopefully clear some of it up. So
excellent, and I'm really excited about that. I was looking over the character designs again yesterday, and I was just going, man, this is going to be a fun book. So excellent.
It is.
Brent, how about you? Tell people who you are.
My name is Brent Larson. I'm from Orlando, Florida. I'm in Orlando, Florida right now. I'm the creator and writer on the Silverline book, Kalis.
That's right. And we possibly got another one in the works, right? Not quite to announce yet, but I mean,
not quite announced yet, but yeah,
fingers crossed that things work out. Yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. We'll see how that goes. I can't get logged into Restream. Tim.
I am Tim TK. I am the associate editor / Wednesday night producer. And so I help with the website and run a monthly blog series called Craft.
That's right.
Recently featuring our host, who is now a ghost, Scott, this week. And I am the writer of upcoming book Wolf Hunter.
That's right.
Issues 2 and 3 being written when I'm not packing, since I am from the recently ignited Salem, Oregon.
Nice. So I know you sent us a message earlier that it was like raining ash.
Yeah, so we have
really?
the largest wildfire in Oregon history right now, not too far out of town. So it's about over 130 some odd thousand acres, and it's about a 30-minute drive away.
I was going to ask you, how close are you to that?
I'm just on the other side of the. So we have Salem. I'm on the west side of the river that goes through the middle of that, and it's on the east side of that. So they're already starting to evacuate the eastern metropolitan area.
Mm.
Wow.
Dude. So can you see like a glow in the horizon? And
We could yesterday, not so much today, which hopefully is a good sign, but the wind had changed this morning. That may have just been it. Wind is coming back this way, so we'll see.
Man, that's some nasty stuff. Well, definitely stay safe. Good thing everybody out there has masks now, right?
Exactly, yeah. Now you upgrade from the cloth
really?
to the gas mask. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Tim, I was distracted. Did you tell everybody that you also you're the behind the scenes guy here, the producer of this stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
Good. Yep. All right. So if stuff goes wrong, we blame Tim.
Yep. I'll blame it on the wildfire.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Rory, what about you? Tell folks who you are.
Hello, I am Rory Boyle, co-creator along with our illustrious ghost, Scott Wakefield, creating Steam Patriots, steampunking of the American Revolution, currently in the works, and getting colored and lettered fairly soon, is what Scott tells me. And in true form, Scott can't be here, so now my computer's having trouble.
Perfect.
I'll probably be leaving and then rejoining. But currently in Jacksonville, Florida, along with all the rest of us Floridians down here.
Yeah.
Waiting on 3 other storms offshore, working their way this way.
Yeah.
So we've got tropical storms and hurricanes. We got a wildfire. Does anyone have blizzards for their bingo card?
Yeah.
Oh, don't forget earthquake. Yeah, the earthquakes.
Tornadoes, earthquakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Locusts.
Define
Panhandle
earthquake.
the other day.
Define earthquake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. I did not know what spaghetti models were until I moved here. And now I'm like, oh, spaghetti models, okay, and that's where you have all these possible paths of these hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
This is it's interesting. This is the first year we've ever prepped for all out prepped. I mean, we bought, and probably because of all the panic with the toilet paper earlier. We went ahead and we bought water and canned goods, and we're ready. I mean,
Bring it on.
Yeah, bring it on. Come on. But it's the first year we've ever. I mean, we always kind of when the season gets here, we always kind of pack our freezer, but usually it's just with like Coke bottles full of ice, just so that the freezer is cold. But yeah, we're ready this year. Sid, what about you? Tell people who you are. Yeah, Tim.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sid. I'm currently the colorist of the incoming Kickstarter, Trumps.
And it looks so good.
Yes. I'm getting super excited about it. And well, I'm talking to you from Chile, which is winter right now. And I'm sorry if I'm a little slow, but I'm just, like not at the best RPM right now. But I'm going to be with you tonight.
Yes. And so for those who are Southern enough like me, you didn't quite understand where she said she was from. She's from Chile.
Chile.
Chile. Yeah, no, I know that I realize that I'm not saying it
It
correctly.
is Chile down here, though.
But
It
this
is
is for
Chile.
all this is for all the people in Alabama. You're from Chile, right?
It's below Mexico, a little lower, all the way down.
So excellent. Thank you, Sid. And yeah, those colors are looking fantastic. And joining us tonight for the first time ever, Haley, is this your? So I know this is your stream, your Silverline debut, but now do you stream before? I think I've seen you post that you stream, right?
Yeah, I've done just a couple, just myself. Yeah. And
Okay.
I always say I want to do it more, and then I get too shy.
So joining us tonight is Haley Martin. Haley, tell people who you are.
Yeah, so I'm Haley Martin. So I'm also from Florida. I met Roland at a con last year, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Well,
and then
no, actually. Well, no, it was last year. We're still in 20. Yeah, it was in 19.
Still.
Yeah.
Okay.
still in
Yeah,
20.
it might have been
Still.
January or something because it's the Delano. Yeah. But yeah, and then we just started talking about, because I'm pretty new to comics. I mean, I have my own web comic that I do, but I've never done anything in the industry or anything. So yeah, so we started talking, and then now I'm doing the art for one that Roland has written. Working on that. I believe is my screen still sharing?
It
Yes.
is. Yep, we
That is
are
on.
looking at it
Yep.
now.
Yep. So working on that. This is page 5. And yeah, been enjoying it.
Excellent. And I'm going to talk a little bit about it. So this is the book that I saw Haley when we met. She had her own thing, and of course I flipped through it, and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. Come to find out, it was a oh, look, I even got a mine's copy signed there. Come to find out, she had done this for a school project, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the first chapter that looks different. Yeah.
And I can't get in. Sorry, I'm trying to log into Restream. I do this every single Sunday, and I don't know why I can't get in right now.
You tried hacking harder.
I can't remember. It's asking for the email, and I think I'm using the right email address. Tim, would you send me the email address?
Yeah.
Too? So long story short, this goes back to Haley. So Haley and I talked a little bit, right? And I sent her some emails, and she sent me emails, and I was far slower to respond to Haley than she was to me. So I need to put that out there and make sure that's very clear. And then I think it was about this time last year when we did Daytona.
Yeah.
We because I know I had kind of floated the idea about it. And Haley, if I'm wrong, correct me here. But I think what happened at Daytona, I think I said, okay, I'm absolutely going to send you something, because we had swapped 1 or 2 emails, and that's kind of when we decided, when you said yes, I'm absolutely game to do it, and we kind of talked about what we wanted to do, and kind of put it into play then. And this would have been at Daytona Beach Comic Con. Brent was there. You probably met Brent.
Yeah, I remember you introducing me to a bunch of people that I probably don't remember, so sorry.
That's okay. But yeah, so this project, and what page is that, Haley? Is that 4?
It's 5.
5, okay. So this page probably could, or this project probably could be 3 or 4 pages further along, if not for me, because I just took too long to get Haley around. And actually, Haley should have been on the stream probably a month ago. The weird thing was, I swapped some emails, said, hey, you want to join us? Da-da-da. And I tried to get her on. I was going to try to get her on last week, but I go to find out we weren't even Facebook friends. I'm like, what the heck? I've been emailing her all this time. And then when I went to add her to the group, I'm like, well, where is Haley? I know we're pals. And so I completely, totally, absolutely my fault. But I am so excited to see Haley bring life to Bear. It's spelled Bear. And I tell people, when people ask me why didn't I just spell it Bear, I said, well, I always picture the police guy from I'm gonna date myself here. It's the movie with help me out, Brent. It's a movie with the Trans Am and the police guy chasing him.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Smokey and the Bandit. Right. Roscoe, was it what? No, I'm thinking of different. What's the sheriff's name?
Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, that's the Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah. Anyway, if he were to say bear, he'd say, I'm gonna kill that bear. right? It was a bear. So that's why it's spelled that way. But I have a hard time saying bear. But yeah, it's bear. So I'm looking forward to it. So excited about the designs that Haley's done and the pages that she's got going. So you're going to get to see her working on that tonight. So I'm excited about that. Anybody else? So Haley, thanks for joining us and welcome tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah.
All right. Quick update in the chat from Facebook. Stephen Brown says, "Hey Roland, did you get my email?"
I don't know.
All right.
When did you say?
Nita Taylor Lanning says, "Roland!" with 3 exclamation points. And
Gee, I wonder who that is.
And Oven says hi.
Never heard of her.
What's up, Oven? We love Oven. Oven's fairly localish to us. Brandon, did you never went to the Trouble's Little Sister, right?
No.
No, we got to get you set up for there. Trouble's Little Sister is Oven's store. Great store.
okay.
Yep. When I say Oven's store, he doesn't own it. It's the store that he frequents. And it's a great little store. They supported, if I recall correctly, they supported Kalis.
Yeah.
So you got to get down there and sign some books for them. Especially now that we're a little more flex with the plague and everything. Good store down there, and I know Oven loves them. So yeah, I don't know what the deal is with Restream, and it's not letting me log in.
You're making sure to use your Nintendo Power Glove while hacking.
Here's the weird thing, right? I haven't had any problems with this before. I was just on a Restream Sunday, right?
It's the curse of Scott.
Yep.
I see. It's the fires and the earthquake all together.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. And we've got a late joiner. This is good. He probably actually heard me saying, I really wish he was here tonight because he could talk about this because of what his day job is.
You jinxed it for the good.
Invalid email or password. No, it's not.
Keep saying that, Roland. I think you're getting through.
Yeah, I know.
You're gonna convince it at some point.
What's up, Mickey?
Not much.
How you doing?
Surviving.
Hey, we're just on the tail end of our introductions. Mickey, tell people who you are.
I'm the colorist on Twilight.
Let's make sure it's Twilight Grim. Twilight has sparkly vampires. Yeah, and now so all right, so I appreciate that. You're the colorist on Twilight, but you also do I'm finally in. You also do a whole bunch of other stuff, Mickey. What do you do? Tell folks what you do.
Inker colorist. Right now, I've been doing a lot of character designs for Galestone Media on like 9 different animated cartoons. Been coloring those. I just finished the Pentagon Kickstarter, wrapping up the colors on it. My 12-year-old granddaughter, and I are co-creating a book called Dodai 5. She'll be helping writing and then drawing. I'll be helping her ink and color. She does computer coloring too.
Sweet.
And then I'm also inking a book called The Crusader and a couple other things. So
excellent. Yeah. So
I teach high school.
Yes. Yeah. So this is one of the reasons, and that part is one of the reasons I was really hoping that you would join tonight, because tonight we are talking about, and this is a great segue into our subject. We're talking about juggling home life with family, with your job, and how do you make comics. There's so much going on. If you've got a job, if you got a family, you want to do this kind of stuff. How do you juggle that? How do you make time to do the things that you want to do and maintain balance? And that's what we're gonna talk about tonight. And I'd like to first point this to Brent and Sid, because I know the two of them may bail earlier, and see if you guys can talk a little bit about it first.
Did you say May bail or
That-
May?
I thought you said May bail. So I'm like, oh.
Well, I don't know. I haven't heard from you in a while, Brent. Where you been?
Well, as you pointed out, I just made bail, so
That's a whole different angle there.
I meant to say, and I should have said, and I don't know if that was my Mississippian coming out, you may bail from the stream a little bit later. So
You know, what better way to do field research for a fugitive spy than to be a fugitive?
yeah. I'm doing a piece on prison life, so I went and killed a guy.
Yeah. We got to do lunch again, Brent.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I'm gonna put you on the spot first, and I'm gonna because I know a little bit about your routine. I don't know anything about Sid's routine, but so I know that you're married. So you got a family that you gotta take care of. You also have a full-time job that keeps you very busy. I happen to also know that you are a bit of a kung fu dude.
Okay.
And you work. Are you Cobra Kai or are you Miyagi-Do?
Oh.
I mean, everybody's watching that now, right?
I have not seen it, but it's in my queue, which means
Okay.
nothing because I spend more time updating my queue than I do actually watch.
But you get up really early every morning and work out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there are mechanics and grocery store managers that get up earlier than me. So.
But you work out. They get up to go to work.
Yeah, you're right. Go to a gym for once. I get up around 5 and I take out the dogs and I make myself some coffee and I'll write for a couple hours and then I'll go to the gym, come home, do some karate practice probably, and go to work pretty much from there. So yeah, that is a routine that I kind of need in order to actually write. Writing is the hardest part because every writer knows you have to be your own cheerleader. Everybody wishes someone to come along and say, look, I want you to write for me. I know you have not actually written anything, but I trust that you're a good writer because you just have that face. And I want to give you money just to do it. A lot of people are waiting around for that. And I kind of was too. I used to make goals and I wouldn't even come close to hitting them.
Tim went to school with a lot of people like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. But a while ago, I just found that I came to a realization that I wanted this badly enough that I was going to have to actually, first off, decide that I couldn't have everything I ever wanted. Like, for instance, lots of sleep. So that kind of went out the window. If I wanted something so badly that I would give up sleep, then that would help me to decide. And I decided I wanted to become a better writer enough that I would get up early. And I'm thankful that I'm married to a woman who actually likes spending time with me and has told me flat out that she wants me in the evening. The morning I can have to myself, but once 5 o'clock rolls around, she wants all my time, which I'm happy to give a lot of the time, and the rest of the time I do it and I end up being happy anyway. So that's why I have to concentrate in the morning.
Okay.
And that's actually, you asked a question and I think I just kind of went off and said my own thing. So.
That's exactly what I wanted you to do, though.
Okay.
See, I'm trying to serve up softballs.
Well, I'm swinging wide. Yes.
As we all know, Brent is our resident sports expert.
Yeah, that's like for paddleball, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait, did we settle on paddleball finally? You decided you like paddleball, right?
That's yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, that's how you score goals, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I get it now. Okay.
Yep. You paddle the ball through the hoop in the end zone.
You get the
And that
thing
gives you a home run, right?
Yeah.
Some touchdown thing.
So how much you said you sacrifice sleep? How much sleep do you average a night?
You know, I get probably between 6 and 6.5, and that gets me through to the weekend, and then I can catch up a little bit on weekends.
So you sleep late on the weekend then?
I sleep later on the weekend.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah. If you're talking 5 o'clock every morning.
Yeah. So Sunday I can sleep in quite a bit more before church, but largely the morning is just the best time. I've met a lot of people who want to try and write and do creative things at night. For some reason, it's your body is telling you it's time to shut down. And you have to just push yourself so much harder. In the morning, you wake up, and once you shake off the lethargy and stop trying to convince yourself that you owe it to yourself to go back to bed, once you get past that, your brain actually is pretty free and clear. So probably the best time.
Now, so what happens when? So do you ever miss working out? Do you ever not work out?
Occasionally, I work out with a friend. If he punks out, then it's that much harder for me to go. Or I also skip, like for things like Labor Day or Day or Tuesday or
Taco Tuesday, right?
Leg day.
Yeah.
Lent.
Well, so my question that where I was leading here is that when you're not getting the exercise, do you find the rest of it harder to do? Or no, because it's such a routine anyway.
I am a slave to routine. I juggle routine occasionally when basically what I had to decide was that writing was very close to the most important thing for me to do with my time, which is to say, if something else came up, it had better be amazing. And if I had to bench writing for a little bit, I had better make it up. And that means sometimes that I can't work out. I have to write instead. I will be bushed on a Friday night, and my wife is hanging out with a friend. I'd rather just sit down and hit PlayStation, but I'd rather get my writing goal finished. And it is a hard decision to make, but when you decide you want something that bad, really it helps you decide.
Yeah. Yeah. Sid, what about you? How are things different down in Chile?
I think I am a special case. So whatever I say, it's not a general description of Chilean culture. I live in a house with all my nuclear family. We're 6. I'm the third of 4 sisters, and all of them have stuff to do, including my mom and my dad. And so it's the morning. We are all early people. We all wake up early. I think the first one waking up is one of my sisters. She works out. Her day starts at 5 as well, working out with my dad. And right after that, it goes my mom waking up and getting up, and then my other sister getting ready for school, and then my other sister getting ready for a job. So since I am the one with the, like a non-contract, what they say, a real job, I'm the last one taking the shower. I get to sleep a little longer. So yeah, I'm the last one waiting for the shower. And then once I do that, I really like getting my day ready, clean and done before working. I can't go to work knowing that I need to, like do my bed, tidy up, get a breakfast. I need not always get a breakfast, but like not just getting out of bed and going to work. I like waking up. I like the process of cleaning up my room, opening the windows. It's just like to refresh myself. So once I do that and I get my 1 or 2 or 3 cups of tea, I come to the office and it's just work all day there. And luckily I don't have a day job yet, not to mention that Chile is still in transition between lockup and open economy. Yeah, so going out of the house is not like a first priority for me. And to mention, I'm a high risk person because I have allergies and asthma, so I prefer not to risk it, and I unlike it necessary,
Yeah, we don't want you to risk it either.
Yeah, so you still need me. You still have a couple of pages, right? So let's wait.
You said that, not me.
Don't worry. But
not dying is in your creator contract.
My sister, my young sister, she still goes to school. She goes to remote class, digital classes. We all assume that that's how the end of the year is gonna go for us. So whenever she needs help with school, I will always be available for her. It's not a problem. I can do math. She can do math with my sisters. I help with history and art and stuff like that. But yeah, it's always nice to take a little break because yes, I don't have to go out. I don't have another priorities, but that also means that I need to keep too many hours set on the table, which is not healthy either. So yeah, getting called for lunch and meals. Remember, I don't know if you guys know, but in Latin America, meals and the table with the family are very important. You don't have like a piece of like a food and in a plate you put it in the microwave and then you go back to work. It's more common here that you sit down with your family and have a full-on lunch or dinner or other kind of meals.
Used to be that way here.
For me. I guess, because I've been in families over there in the States. I visit friends' families, and they also do like dinners with everybody together. So I guess it all depends on people. But here is very important. At least here in my family, for us, it's the time we have time for everybody to talk, to share what we do in the day. So for me, that's a nice break to get off the table, go downstairs and share with my family. Helping in the house as well is a nice break. So it's everything more like to get more work done is more like to keep myself from just spending too many hours on the desk, because that's also very like again, it's not really healthy when you stay sat all day looking at a screen. I try to keep it between 6-10 hours of work daily. So I help with the chores as well. I help cleaning here and there. It's kind of a big house, and none of us keen on the idea of my mom doing all the chores. So it's more between this and that. I'm getting into a better routine, but it wasn't easy either. The first days, the first weeks when I was here, I was like just starting to get full into Trump's. I was dedicating too many hours, and that was not okay. I was like, my body was failing. And like, you need to stop. You need to drink more water. Like seriously, I wasn't really advancing as fast as I wanted either. So that was the point.
Yeah. It's about balance, right?
Yeah, now I'm getting better. I miss going out. I miss walking. I used to have like around 8 miles walks almost daily before. Sadly, it's not so safe here anymore. Getting robbed and assaulted is kind of getting a little common.
Yeah.
So I better not.
8 miles. That's a pretty good walk.
Yeah, I would take like the bus and go into one of the main avenues, and it's like a very straight line, and I would just go forward, back and forward, and then take the bus and go back home. Because my house is on I got halfway between the mountains, and I don't like walking up, but I can walk in a straight line, but I don't like going up. Like I don't like sweating, but I don't want to. So, yeah, I keep it simple that way. But yeah, I miss doing that. That was fun.
Yeah.
Now with the lockup and me being a high risk, I can't do that often. So I guess I have the stairs in my house if I want to do something. But,
just walk up and down the stairs.
Yeah, now I just try to stay, away from desserts and all that.
Yeah, that's hard. I have a major sweet tooth.
Eee.
Oh yeah.
Luckily, all the snacks I used to eat before I left the States, because I was living in the States and I have all these Dunkin' Donuts and such. But here I also have a whole menu of snacks I love eating. And now that Chile is going through a very strict health program from the government, like the stuff, and I eat those stuff again, and most of the things are like sweetened with stevia and like healthy sugars, and I can't stand the taste of it. I hated it. So it was like, okay, it works. I won't eat this anymore.
Yeah.
So now I'm having a nice diet, forced diet. A lot of oranges.
My wife has fixed me a jar of nuts and some dried fruits because
That's
again
nice.
I have a sweet tooth, and instead of grabbing a Snicker bar or a Kit Kat or something like that, she's like, snack on that. That's healthier for you. So I'm like, okay.
Oh, my snack are mandarins and oranges. I'm addicted to citrus fruit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would bring like 10 of them and they would be gone, and they would go downstairs, grab 10 more and then come back. That's also been something different, the way of eating, not just like that, because two of my sisters and my parents, we are like developing conditions. One is lactose intolerant. I am almost kind of getting there. Two of my sisters have not gluten. They're not celiac, but they can consume gluten. So also everybody's menu is different. Everybody's like getting into this new way of eating.
Yeah.
Like I came back after 3 years, and I came back and I just was this family. I eat everything so different. It took me a while. It was a little shocking at first.
Yeah. So
But now
Mickey,
I'm glad to be back.
Yeah. So Mickey, what about you? So I know you said in your introduction that you're a teacher, and as we all are very appreciative for the work that you do, we all know that teachers are very undervalued. How, because you do all that list of stuff you do a lot of work that's not teacher related. So what about you? What do you do? How do you balance it all?
Well, before this COVID, it was a little bit easier. I used to Monday through Tuesday, I'd get up at 5:15 and I'd go to school all day, then come home, spend 4 hours, so like from 3 to 7 with the family, and then from 7 till 1 in the morning, I'd do my comics. And then Friday, I'd get up at 5, and then
4 hours.
4 hours a night. 4 hours a night, yeah. And then Friday would be my 25-hour day. I'd get up at 5:15 and then go to sleep at 6 Saturday morning. Sleep 6 to 10. Then from 10 till whenever the family and kids go to sleep, it's their day. I do whatever they want. They go.
Uh-oh.
Oh, thank you.
We're there till 6 Sunday, sleep their day. When they went to bed at 9, I'd go back to the studio till 1 in the morning, sleep till 5, and then start the week all over again.
Goodness, that's quite a 4 hours a night. That's quite a regimen. I think you've got Brent beat.
Yes. I've only been sleeping 4 to 5 hours a night since I was 8 years old, so it's like wow. It's in me. So.
Goodness.
Nice.
Wow. So now does
yeah, that iPad's mine.
Speaking of families, right?
Yeah, my granddaughter.
Yeah.
My grandkids live here, so yeah, 4 to 7 every night is with them and everything. So
okay.
I had to schedule out where I was sleeping like 30 hours a week, spending 40 hours a week with family, and then 100 and some hours of work a week.
So
balance it out.
Yeah. So now, do you actually, when you said you had to schedule it out, now do you actually have it because that was a pretty tight schedule that you just mentioned. Do you actually have that scheduled out and work to, okay, it's 3 o'clock, it's downstairs time for this, and
yeah. It's just routine here.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
Yeah. So this is a question for everybody. What are the and we'll get to see Michael and Haley and Roy or Tim if you guys want to jump in, but what are the biggest challenges of if you're regimented like this, what are the biggest challenges of keeping the regimen, or what are the biggest challenges of kind of juggling all of the stuff?
Actually doing the deadline for me.
Doing a deadline?
Like to say like, oh, today I'm going to finish this, and knows that may not be able to do it, and it gets very frustrating. But you need to reach a point to say, okay, you didn't finish it. You can finish tomorrow. It's a shame, but I think at least for me that's kind of the hardest, because I make a plan, I try to make it work out, and it's not coming out. But that's kind of.
Yeah, for me, actually, the absence of a deadline also makes it harder. So
I need to give you deadlines.
Yeah. Well, hey, give it your best shot, Roland. Yeah. I like for 2 hours, it's my writing time, but it's amazing to me how much I want to check the weather app. Even though it's giving me worthless information that will change on a dime.
So I have to ask you a question about this weather thing now. Okay. I'm not going to ask you your age, but did you check the weather app 10 years ago? No. So
did I have a weather app?
I think it's an age thing. Brent's like, what are you calling me old, dude? I think as you get older, you get more interested in the weather. It's like, what's it good?
Developing that superpower.
Well, yeah, but keep in mind if it was really that, then I wouldn't need the weather app, because I'd be like, my trick knees.
I was just gonna say.
I think it's gonna rain in a half hour. So I don't know. I think it's because I really hate watering my grass, and I love it when it rains. I think that's partly what it is. But yeah, but that's the thing. Like I said, the weather app is useless. It changes, and yet I want to look anyway, or I want to make sure that I paid my credit card bill on time, or all these things that I could very easily do later on in the day, and not during my writing time. But I want to do it during my writing time, because then I can say that I did writing, even though I really didn't. So it's a mind game that I constantly am playing while I'm doing it. So.
Other juggling things.
Keeping writing separated out of other pursuits or my everyday life. I like to keep each thing compartmentalized. So when I come to it, I can like one track on that thought process. But there'll be moments where I'm either working on some other pursuit, or I'm at my day job and I'm like, oh, there's a plot hole I need to fix on this page in this chapter. And
so here's a question for you, Tim, specifically. All right, so you've got your job, you got your day job, right?
Yes.
You've got the Silverline duties, right? The website, and you're also writing a comic at Silverline. But that's not all you do. You write a whole bunch of other stuff. When you're writing time, how do you juggle? I need to devote some time to the Silverline project, or I want to work on my Great American Novel.
Well, the nice thing about the Great American Novel is that I am not tapped into contract on any of those. I had a short fiction contract not long ago, so that was like all of last year. But whatever is I'm on contract for has the actual deadline, so that's what I prioritize. But for this, because there is a expected schedule with comic releases now, whenever I sit down to write, I'm thinking about that. I may do like 1 or 2 items of pre-write for a book idea or a short fiction idea, but I don't actually sit down to finish the project. But if I get caught up on something and I just need to get the gears going, I may grease them by doing like a bullet or two on the next project, and then once I'm grease the groove, I get back into writing the comics, since that's more pressing.
Yeah,
I'll fall into that same thing with Tim. Yeah, if I need a little bit of a distraction from doing one thing to get the juices flowing to work on something else.
Yeah, you have to write to distract yourself from writing.
Yeah.
Oh, may I ask, you guys write like straight into the paragraph, or do you make like a bullet list of the things you guys want to do? Like you have a process, right? Before like making the
I used to be a very hard pantser, but now the more stuff I've written and I've actually like had to write back to back, the more I really appreciate like full-on planning and essentially being able to, once I sit down to write the 10,000 words or whatever, being able to turn my brain off and just connecting the dots from bolt to bolt point, because it just seems to go quicker and it seems to make much more sense than pantsing said project and then realizing, oh, there's a character gets mentioned once and then just disappears for no reason, but somehow they're plot critical.
Yeah, I see.
Interesting. My style is very fluid. I'll write through an entire scene, or the most structure I'll get is the biggest plot points, and then going back in and smoothing out how one can transition into the other. And I typically don't write anything down or outline it. I'll keep something in my brain and like work it around all day until it's smooth, like a tumbled stone, and then I can put it out and just jot it down with one go. And have Scott fix it.
Yeah.
No. When Scott and I work together, our project, Steam Patriots, it's so history and reference heavy that we have to do so much reading. I mean, talk about a dry read. The Navigation Acts of 1773. I wish upon no man. It's very heavy. We got to like distill out the best bits of it.
So when y'all were doing that, did you take, like, for instance, when you do it steampunk industrialization and stuff, did you take one aspect and he took the revolution, or did y'all both kind of just combine how you did your research on that?
We just both kind of combined everything, how we knew we were going to take all of these major, true to life historical facts and just implant our character in these spots and then string them together. And the research, not just like the history of like the timeline and George Washington and Ben Franklin, but since it's steampunk, it's very technology heavy.
Right.
And so just blew our minds that all these, what we'd think of like a Victorian Industrial Revolution era mechanical machinations were there. They were actually around in the 18th century. They just weren't patented or too expensive to make. So like you had a patent for a Gatling gun in the UK, and that people think of the Gatling gun, they think like Civil War, 100 years later, but it was all around.
The Civil War would have been so much different if they had actually used the Gatling gun.
Right.
Which
brass
side,
cannons? Who uses brass cannons?
Well, they used it in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That was Civil War.
That was post Civil War.
Right.
That was post Civil War.
Yeah.
Oh well, no, Good, Bad, the Ugly. I'm thinking Josie Wells.
Yeah, Josie Wells was post.
Yeah.
Obviously, a historical reference that is totally reliable is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
The Gatling gun saw a lot of use, though, as a diplomatic tool with the Japanese government at the time.
Yeah, that's like my favorite Gatling gun event.
But I think that wasn't until about the 1870s, though. If I'm not mistaken.
So when was
it would have been the Wild West time too, because there was the big fascination with that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Because the frontier, quote unquote, the historical ending of the frontier is 1890, and so a lot of the Wild West stuff that we think of as 1870s, 1880s.
Yep.
Right. Very short lived.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You're kind of a history buff, huh?
Yeah. I'm about 2 semesters away from a master's degree, but I won't get it.
Well, hey, I have to get going.
All right.
So
it's good to see you, man.
And I'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Have a good night. One of the things we're talking about is Tim showed us a picture of what it's like there in Burning, Oregon. Tim, can you put that up and show people? Because it's a pretty serious thing there.
Yeah. So there's that. This is this is about 30 minutes away from the actual fire, but it was the sun has not risen for 2 days. It seems like it's been raining ash out here. Yeah.
Wow.
This is taking about noonish.
Man,
Yeah.
it's kind of scary. Yeah. So, Tim, I'm sure I speak for anybody who might be watching. Please take care out there.
We're watching the fire tracker and making sure we're tuned in for any sort of evacuation notices. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So for the first half, you guys were watching Haley as she was working on a bear. Now we are watching C. Michael as he is working on rejects.
I believe C. Michael still needs to share. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm about to do that right now.
There we go.
All right, very good. All right, so C. Michael and Haley, you guys jump in here. Talk about juggling. So Haley, you already said. I think you were live when you said it that your mom's desk is behind you. So so you have to balance family as well. And I know, C. Michael, I know you got a family. So how you guys balance that stuff?
Go first.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm at my parents' house, so I, live with them. So I don't have like my own family, like kids or anything. So I know like once I'm in that stage of life, like I'll definitely have less time for comics. So it's kind of different right now.
Well, family's family.
Freedom, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. But yeah. And then, and then I've got my job. I like just recently became full-time at my day job. So that's nice. But then, yeah, that is like,
cuts into your drawing time.
Yeah. Cause comics are not like really a paying job for me yet.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They're not a paying job for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I'm too serious about it to want to call it a hobby, but like
right.
It's
a true
not,
labor of love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. That's good.
I mean, there's about 3 like one disciplined creators who can actually afford to do this full time right now.
Yep. Yeah, and generally those are the folks who work at Marvel and DC.
Yeah, that's guys like guys like Donny Katz, who currently has 18 titles that he has to do monthly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both envy and don't envy him at all.
Yeah. You get a small handful of creators who work at some of the upper tier independents, Boom, Dark Horse, things like that, who can get a page rate or a rate to work. But for the most part, beyond that, it's a labor of love.
Yeah.
And this is why so many people want to move on to Marvel and DC, is because they want to do it as a career.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times the only way you can do it as a career is to work for Marvel and DC.
Yep.
I mean, we all love the idea that, we're creating the next Walking Dead, but it's a crapshoot.
Mm-hmm. And I know there's people, do you guys know what Webtoons is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about it. So that's pretty popular. And I think that's probably a lot of people that read on there are a different crowd from like people who read Marvel and DC comics. But I know like there are artists that they pay, like I'm pretty sure they make a living on it, but I've heard that it's
on
a crazy
Webtoons?
schedule.
Yeah.
But I've heard it's a crazy schedule because they do these long updates every week. So
wow.
Pros and cons to that, but yeah.
That's something we're gonna have to talk. We may have to actually recruit you to spearhead our Webtoons adventure, because I think you're right. I think it is a very much different audience.
Yeah, like I have friends who read comics on there and like are probably not really into other stuff. They're more into like anime and stuff. And then they're like, oh yeah, I read this comic on Webtoons, and they found out that I post mine there, and they're like, what? That's so cool.
Yeah.
So
how and of course I'm being distracted here. This is one of those rabbit holes. So okay, we'll come back to this. Okay. I'm curious as to how they make money there.
Yeah.
What's that?
I think
it's
like,
Michael?
Yeah.
No, go ahead, because there's a way on Webtoons. There, it kind of has to do with the likes and everything like that, and you have to be really up there to get it. In fact, there's even a show that's being based off of a webtoons right now. That's like an anime.
Huh? Really?
Yeah. So it's profitable if you can make it. In fact, when I went to the last con I went to in Houston last year, they had a whole big old setup for webtoons to check your look at your portfolio and
really.
Oh yeah, it is a huge thing.
So webtoons is kind of moderated.
Oh yeah,
not just anyone can go.
No, I think anybody could post, but the people who bring in the most, they I can't remember how they have it set up, but you can make, I don't know if you necessarily make a living per se,
yeah,
but you can make a profit off of doing webtoons if you are popular enough.
Huh.
Yeah.
And,
I think they like anyone can post theirs on there, but then I think they'll approach you like with a contract
Right.
if they want to like publish you and like pay you a wage or whatever.
Yeah,
salary.
that's how I understand it.
Yeah.
They have a whole business scheme on how they do it. I couldn't quite understand all of it either, but
yeah,
we gotta start finding these rich benefactors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you know, for a writer in the independent, in the indie genre or circuit, it's a lot harder than for an artist, because an artist is able to put out, commissions and stuff like that. And I see a lot of artists who have been able to step away from for it to become their full-time job, and they're not working for said comic company like Marvel or DC, but they're able to have commissions or whatever the case is. So it's for an artist, it's easier than it is for a writer. I hate to say that, but they say writers like a dime a dozen. Sorry, Roland.
well, it's also the whereas with an artist, you do have that immediate visual product. Where an audience can't necessarily see the hours of screaming at mountains and angst and bottles of gin consumed that goes into each script.
And encyclopedias and history books and see, Michael, you are right. Writers are a dime a dozen, but good writers are not.
Yes.
The asterisk. Yes.
Yes.
But see, actually, before I really got back into drawing, which I've been back into it for about 6 years now, just like digging down and doing it, I'd actually taken classes as being a writer. And I was kind of like, I like writing, but I want to be able to control what the person sees.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be one of those, you kind of have like your Tolkien writers that they got to describe every little piece of grass. And I'll go to sleep on that. And I don't want to be James Patterson, where you just kind of, you put it out there and let the person's imagination. I want to control your imagination without having to take up too much of your time.
So the Marvel style plot was right up your alley then.
Oh, absolutely. So how fast is layout?
That's a good one-liner there, Sue Michael. It's like, I want to control your imagination without taking too much of your time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm not a narcissist. What are you talking about? No.
Yeah, I'm a narcissist, but I'm efficient. Oven chimes in on Facebook. He says, in regards to webtoons, he loves webtoons personally. People have the option to pay to not wait for updates. And webtoons also drives traffic to associated Patreons, which is another form of revenue.
Yeah. Kurtis, you guys know Kurtis Fujita, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Kurtis has been kind of spearheading some ideas for some of what we want to do for some of the classic stuff. He put together a PowerPoint. John, are you listening? But it was pretty awesome, and I like the way he's thinking, because part of what he's doing is because you guys know we're coloring a lot of the classic stuff that Silverline did, so that we're going to reissue it in color. Hopefully, find a brand new audience with that. And so Kurtis has kind of been working on some ideas as, how can we best, what are some of the best methods we can do to bring this? And I don't remember where I was going with that.
PowerPoint is
PowerPoint,
Yeah,
Patreon.
well, Patreon, and so one of the things that we talking about is like subscriptions, and I think Ovid once before asked me about subscriptions to Silverline, and really we're not at this point, we're just not equipped to offer that kind of thing, and really we don't really. Well, this year it's been pretty good, but I think when Ovid first asked me, I'm like, well, we don't really have enough content to offer any kind of subscription. But we're getting to the point now where, we're doing, if you think about it, the last couple of Kickstarters, basically 2 books and a Kickstarter every other month. That's a book a month, effectively.
Yeah.
Right. So, so one of the things we talked about is Patreon. Can we use Patreon as a kind of a subscription service, some way, somehow? And so I don't know the answer to that, and I don't know how how that's going to happen. But I really like the fact that Haley is already on Webtoons, and if I'm not mistaken, so is Peter Clinton. I think Peter Clinton's already on Webtoons, and Kurtis is looking into this. So I think there's and this is a whole other conversation. Of course, the industry is and Mickey, I know that you've seen this too. The industry is really changing from what's been the status quo since pretty much since I've been reading comics. And I know that there's the pre-direct market, which I bought comics in as a kid, but I didn't really know that was a change from the direct one. When I started going to comic shops, I thought they had always been there. I just didn't know it. It's like, oh, I've grown up now. I can go to comic shops.
Yeah. Well, I do have an idea that at like a 3-level tier, every supporter at that level gets a monthly slideshow from John on a different topic.
So
I like this.
So Haley, so you have to go back. What was it? 2 weeks ago?
I think it was
John did.
Yes, 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
It wasn't the toys, because John talked about he didn't have time to make one for the toys.
Okay.
I want to say
he had one in his here though. But
yeah. So what was the subject? I forgot.
Oh, it was casting. His casting arc.
Oh, casting, yeah. So Haley, you have to go back and look. John made a PowerPoint casting. John's the creator writer of Sniper and Rook, and he made a PowerPoint casting Sniper and Rook. He did it from like where he had originally done it in the 90s, then he did it early 2000s, and it was current, and it was a whole PowerPoint. It was actually kind of impressive.
Nice. So he set the bar for that now.
Yeah.
But what else? All right. So I think Rory's the only one who had no. See, Michael, you never really chimed in about juggling, all this stuff.
Yeah, I don't have a regiment per se. I do work a 40-hour work week. It's 4/10s commonly, and I really try to get off on Fridays. This is the first time I've done a book, so I'm kind of seeing how everything works. I've got 4 kids and a nephew, and they range from 15 to 3.
I did not realize you had 4 kids.
Yeah. Yes, we had my daughter. 2 years later, we had my first son. A year later, we had my second son. A year later, we had my baby girl. So
wow.
Yeah.
So they're all kind of right there together, though.
Right. Yeah, the last 3 are. But so and yeah, they're kind of we homeschool.
Mm-hmm.
And so we actually have a lot of time that we're able to spend together. But as far as working on comics and stuff, I usually wake up about 3:30 in the morning. I go to work at 6, so about from 3:30 to about 5 o'clock, I'm usually working on the comic. Go to work, come home, spend some time with the family. I usually get back in here about around this time, maybe a little bit earlier than that. And my wife will sit here and watch TV, and the kids' bedtime's about 9 for us. So, and just I'll work on this, or sometimes stop. My daughter and I are watching an anime right now, so I'll spend time. My oldest. It's kind of weird because I don't have that regimen, but I spend time with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like sometimes on the weekends I'll go for a morning walk or whatever with my youngest. She likes to do the walking around here, and but really it's not really anything I have planned out. I'm just kind of.
So you don't have like a Monday, here's what I do, Tuesday, here's what I do.
No.
Yeah.
No, I did that years ago. And really this kind of a practice. Like I said, I was in writing classes before, but before that I was actually a preacher for a little bit.
Wow.
And so I would get up in the morning and do studying and stuff like that. So it's kind of a thing that I've always done.
Uh-huh.
And I guess you said the subject has changed over the years. But as far as like what I'm trying to do now, because this is, technically my second comic book project, I guess.
Yeah.
But just learning it is, I want to try to get 2 pages done a week if I can.
Yeah. It's a good, I think that's important to set those kind of goals for you. And I think two pages a week is very doable. I was having a conversation with another artist recently, and they were taking, and then now, so don't get me wrong now, and here we are kind of, well, it's all about utilizing time, right? And what they were doing is they were filling in, all of the dark places, and they were just taking, and I'm like, okay, look, here's the deal. Outline that, put an X there. I'm like, you need to better utilize your time. You can spend 5 minutes sitting there shading in, all of it with the pencil, or you could just drop an X there and tell the inker just fill that with black. That's a much more effective, use of your time. And I told him, I said, well, here's the deal. I said, because the artist told me, oh, that's pretty cool. I need to do more of that, and I'm learning. And the artist said, yes, I'm learning that this helps me, do faster. And of course, then I made some kind of joke. I said, yes, learning to be a professional always takes time. Because it's true. When as an editor, the pages that I got, because we're very at Marvel, we are very much, hey, you got to get the stuff in because we got to get the book out. And when you're a professional, you learn to take those shortcuts. You really don't have to fill in all the stuff. You can just put an X there, and the inker knows to fill that all in with black. It saves you time, and that's part of figuring out how to be more efficient with your time.
Yeah, and I don't use too many blacks right now with it, so it kind of. You see, I kind of work on a lot of line work.
Yeah.
So I try to cut corners. That's it. And of course, working digitally, you'll see actually, if you look on the screen, you'll see that I kind of took the setting from the background of the first panel, and I kind of moved it down to that second panel.
Cool.
And I've heard people say, "Oh, that's cheating! I can't believe you would do that." Blah 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 blah. I don't care.
You drew it.
I don't care. Yeah,
you drew it.
I don't care.
It's not like you stole it from someone else,
right?
Or you took a picture, an image from somebody else. You drew the doggone thing.
Yeah, they do that on movies all the time.
Right. Hey, and listen, I will tell you this: honest to God, professionals will send you pages that will have a blank panel, and in the panel it will be written. Photostat of panel 2 from page 3. And all they want you to do is just take a shot of panel 3 and drop it in so they don't have to redraw it. That's all you're doing. Yeah. And I can't tell you the number of times that we got pages in our offices like that. Again, it's all about utilizing your time. If you're going to draw a character, in the exact same, because writers will sometimes do that exact same shot as this panel from this page. Well, if it's the exact same shot, why are you going to redraw it?
Right. Right.
You know,
I have seen it, and that's kind of where I got that from, because I have seen it, and it was a traditional artist, and it was just two blank. They showed their finished work, and they showed the not really the roughs, but the pencils, and you had those two blank panels, and they just, oh well, it was good until I realized that you just traced the other one, and it's like, really, really, we're not doing it's not hanging up in the Louvre or anything,
Yeah.
So,
it's comic books.
But that was the thing when I was younger, when I used to draw when I was in middle school. Oh, you don't draw, you sketch. Did you come and find out? You look at when you finally start looking at everybody and they got these squiggly lines everywhere. Like, hey, I could do that. So
yeah. Well, the pages are looking awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, this is actually the 5th page, and I was going to try to get a group and try to send them into the Dropbox this weekend.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we need to get Becca slapping some ink. Rory, what about you? How do you Tim, speak up? Oh, I already asked Tim though, didn't I? I already put you on the
kind
spot.
of. I talked a little bit about, but no, yeah.
I'm trying not to participate in
Sure,
this
yeah.
because I'm gonna have to repeat this on Sunday.
Exactly. No, wake up at 7.
Time management.
Yeah, wake up at 7 every morning. Scream for a little bit. Get to work, and then I'm at work until about 6ish most days. You can normally get off early on Fridays or Wednesdays. Go to the gym for about an hour and a half. Write for another hour, and then rinse, repeat. I try to stream about what's my schedule like? 4 or 5 days a week now.
Wow.
Yeah, and I do that for about 2-3 hours. And that'll usually get me into about like 11 or 12 at night. So it's about my usual time. But
so you're streaming for 2-3 hours 5 times a week?
Yeah, a little bit longer.
Wow.
Saturday, Sunday
I
morning.
can't tell you how many times I see Aggro Bacon come up.
Yeah.
Streaming like it's 12 o'clock at night.
And nope. And speaking of benefactors, Rory has taken upon himself to be the leaderboard in gifted subs last week.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, it's that's been my schedule mostly, and balancing comes down to actually like setting a set time. I have to like give myself set times for things, so I know that I'm gonna leave the office at 6, be at the gym by 6:30, leave by about 7:30, and then write from 8 to 9. And if it's a stream day, stream from then until about 11. Yeah, this is Saturday, Sunday. Those ones get weird because I stream in the morning, and then the afternoon. This is kind of whatever happens.
Oh man, am I up?
You
Routine.
are
What's
now.
that? So I'm stationed here in Jacksonville, Florida, at least for the next 7 months, and I'm active duty Coast Guard.
Yep.
So I'm on duty 24/7.
Yeah.
So and it's really odd these days because like about 50% of my job is office work and 50% is out in the field doing things on, in the port, on vessels, on all the waterways, the ICW, the whole shebang. And every other day I'm working from home on a work laptop, and every day I'm in the office. So I never know what's going to be happening. And I moonlight in other shops. Like we have one department that's like pollution and hazmat response. So if they need an extra body, I can run out with them. Every day is something different. So I never know what's going to happen minute to minute. So my day is just staccatoed with like, oh, I got a couple hours downtime. I'm going to ruminate on some good fictional ideas. So I have a separate notepad at work where I could just make notes and do research. And that's like my work notepad, and I'll take pictures of it, bring it home, add it to my, at home notepad. And when it comes to Scott and I working together, we'll give each other homework. Like this weekend, do a deep dive on this character or this event or this location, get back to it. So I wish I had a more steady routine. I yearn for the days when
Right.
I can have a steady routine, which should be fairly soon.
Yeah. I will say the nice thing about my job is that it's a lax office job. So I do also bring my own notepad and write a lot like what Rory does. Also, Comixology on your phone. It's great. My work day consists, the last 2 days consisted of reading Paul Jenkins' Inhumans.
Hey, I can't remember. I think we posted it in our group. I don't know if it's still available, but for anybody who might be listening, I think like every single Black Panther ever published is free
Very
for
much.
download on
Wow.
Comixology. So you should
Cool.
take advantage of that and go get those. Even the old Jack Kirby Black
Yes,
Panthers
yeah.
are on the list. So and those are very, and in my opinion, very much well worth getting and reading.
Absolutely.
Oh, and all my family's up north. I'm confirmed old bachelor and likely to remain so, as Professor Higgins would say.
So you don't have
So I
to
have, so I have
worry.
disposable time and disposable money.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Scott loves it.
Yeah.
Yep.
He can set you, give you tasks, right?
Oh yes.
All right. So again, I kind of go back to the idea, and I know kind of Sid and Brent kind of touched on it a little bit. What do you guys find to be the biggest challenges in juggling all this stuff?
I'll go.
Okay.
For me, it's the intrusive thoughts and being ADD. I kind of touched on this earlier, but just if I allow my writing to intersect too much of like time that I've designated elsewhere, then stuff I would have designated elsewhere intrudes on my writing time.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Those inopportune strokes of genius that
Yeah.
just strike at the wrong moment.
so I try my best to actually kind of tune out writing if I'm hard set and like work and actually have work to do. Kids
Find
going
that flip in your brain to switch.
exactly kids get into finance if you don't want to actually work. But if I'm like working on a report or whatever and a writing thought comes in, that I know when I'm sitting to write something from like someone's tax file is going to come to my head while I'm writing. It's going to, and so I trying to find ways to cross stimulate so I don't have enough room for intrusive thought to come in. So I'm a big fan of writing with music or working with music, or I will always write like in a different coffee shop and try and write, which has been really weird this year. It's been very hard, but I've been moving to different rooms in the house, or I'll go out to like a. Well, also now the state parks are closed because they're on fire. Really, I'm not going to get any writing done this next month.
But you might be able to read pretty well because it's well lit.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, from the back of my
That orange
Mustang.
filter over it.
Yeah, exactly. It's while I'm sweeping my Mustang, the bathroom stop.
You've already got the mask.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
You know, it's funny you mentioned writing in a coffee shop. I tried that once. You know, I heard writers talking about, oh yeah, listen.
Yeah.
I tried to do it, and I am incapable of doing it. I find that I sit there and do this too much.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Squirrel.
What are all these people doing? What are they having?
Yeah.
Boy,
For
that
me,
dude looks like a jerk,
yeah,
right?
for me, that's not too much an issue. Like, I'll get my coffee, I'll put my music, I'll be focused in, and then if I see someone interested in coming in, I'm like, okay, they're gonna die in this panel here. How did it look like they would die?
Yeah. I can't. I don't write well around other people, and I know sometimes in classes you have to do that, but
Yeah.
I need to be alone because people distract me.
Right. I think also it depends on where you sit, if you're introverted, extroverted, or an ambivert. Because either you think
Whoa! What's this? What's an ambivert?
an ambivert is someone who will enter into a depressive state if they don't receive essentially extroverted around time, but they can only focus on like by themselves or vice versa. So they're in order to receive the right amount of like serotonin or dopamine, they need to be in both environments at some point in the day. Otherwise, they don't put out the right amount of dopamine.
Interesting. I have never heard that term.
Yeah.
Like an extroverted introvert.
Yeah, the extroverted introvert was the old term until I was like, oh, there actually might be a diagnosis for this.
That's probably what I am, I would think.
Yeah, I'm an ambivert as well, so I like my introvert time, but I can only really focus when I'm around people, which is
Okay,
interesting.
No, I can't.
Yeah, for some people, it might be the other way around, where they like being around people, but they can only focus by themselves.
See, I have really missed comic conventions because, that's my people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I have really, because of Plague has shut everything down, I've really missed going to comic conventions, and that's been, I think, I'm ready to get back to shows.
Yeah, that'll be.
I'm finding it surprising, I guess, that the challenges that I'm hearing are more internal than external.
Well, let's take a second to diagnose internal conflict and external motivators. Everyone, please open The Old Man in the Sea.
Man versus environment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, because if you think about it, this is what you those of you have said anything that your distractions. It's more of, what are these things in my mind that are distracting me from doing the thing that I want to do? Not my family is coming in here, or my boss is calling me, or my phone is ringing.
Yeah.
And so I guess I'm a little surprised that it's more of those kinds of things that are challenges.
I can't wait to pull a Roland Mann and get rid of my phone.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it is liberating.
Yep. I got off social media mostly like in 2010.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Oh, you on Facebook?" Nope.
Yeah.
Haven't touched it.
Unfortunately,
my Facebook is my meme reservoir.
Is your what? Your meme reservoir? Yeah.
In case the meme world goes dry.
Yeah. It goes dry. Unfortunately, you kind of, as a creator of arts, you kind of need the social media
nowadays.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess it would have been different in the olden times.
Yeah,
standing at the printing press.
Yes, right. Yeah,
Franklin shutting it down.
Yeah.
Another lithograph.
Yeah, but also, the thing I will say though about that is that the gatekeepers of the time kept that gate pretty tight. And the thing about what we have now is that the gates are wide open for anybody. I mean, if you can do it, there's no one to stop you from doing it. You don't have to depend on major publishers to buy your work. It doesn't mean you don't still desire that or want that, but you don't have to depend. You can put your book on Amazon. And people can buy it just like they buy, a book from Penguin. So
and it's print on demand now, so nobody's really losing money.
Yeah. So really, you're just kind of vying for eyeball time with these major publishers, and there's nothing that says that you can't get it.
Yep.
Well, and what's interesting is you don't have to reach this big of audience as they do.
No.
They have a ton of books that they have to sell. All you have to do is sell one, and if you sell a good enough amount of them, you can actually do something with it. You build that audience. For those guys, they have like 50-something books at one time.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, from Detective Comics to Action Comics, those things, they're like, wait, not everyone wants to read a detective story. Not everyone wants a superhero story.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we want to be in everyone's pocket, so we need every book. Whereas if you're writing your own thing, you just need to find your people.
Your people, that's it.
Yep.
Now, doing that's hard.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Yeah. But I think that's kind of where social media comes in.
Yeah.
Yep. There's a podcast called Writing Excuses, which is a great name for a podcast, but it's a bunch of writers and editors and agents talking about writing stuff. And one of them is a comic artist who what's his name? He just well no it's great, but Howard Taylor. I don't know if anyone is familiar with Howard Taylor. He wrote Schlock, a Space Mercenary, which been one of the biggest e-comics of all time. It's run as like a weekly strip, and then they put out graphic novels when they have a graphic novel worth of content. So, but he's been able to do this for like 10, 12 years because he found his people.
Wow.
And it's like you don't need to be the most excellent, and you don't need to be the most well known. You just need to be pretty good and pretty well known.
Yeah.
And if you can find that from just being more than averagely okay, you should find some way to work it out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
there's so much truth in that.
Yeah.
I can't really shoot social media because that's why I'm here now.
Right.
That's how, so.
Well, and that's, that's kind of how this whole streaming thing was born. Is like, hey guys, we need to, how can we get Silverline, our books and the stuff that we're doing, how can we get more eyeballs onto it? How can we, help spread the word, right? Yeah, I don't know. Certainly, I wasn't sitting around thinking, you know what? I would really like to stream, a couple times a week. That was not anywhere in, because this is time, of course, see Michael and Haley and Mickey, they're sitting there, working the whole time. I can't really work. Because I can't write while we're doing this,
Right.
So yeah, but this is one of those necessary things that you got to do to, let people know you're out there. And I think a lot of people will buy product based on people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we can, we're not going to go there. But I think there's enough on Indiegogo and some of those circles that we can point to those. See, that book sold only because that person did it. And that's a whole nother rabbit hole. But I think people buy a lot of times because of people. They're like, hey, I like Tim. I'm going to buy his book. Doesn't matter if your book sucks. It doesn't suck, right? But I can say that because I've read it. It doesn't matter. They're going to buy it because they like you and they like you as a person, so they're going to support you. Now, hopefully, they like the book and they're going, because it is a good book. They like it, but they're going to say, "Oh, well, I liked him, but I also like his book," and they're gonna then spread the word. Yeah.
I'd read a marketing book, a couple of them. I can't remember who it was by, but that was one of the main things as far as getting attention on, Twitter and Facebook is to be sociable, to be approachable, to be, and that was your main. Like I think he had wine or something he was selling, but
wine,
yeah.
Oh,
he's like, I remember he was doing live streams or whatever the case is. But that was he made a lot of money from using the social media marketing. And that was the main thing that he continued to hammer was being sociable, being likable. And that's like looking into a camera right now is hard for me.
Yeah.
It's like, I got to train myself to look at this thing.
That's honestly why I got into streaming myself like years ago and came back to it this year. And why I got into like theater and all that is I wanted to be better at interacting with people. Because it is a very good skill to have when you're trying to sell your stuff. You need to be some sort of attention grabber when you're at like a convention booth and there are 5 other dudes wearing shirts and jeans selling some sort of war book, but you need to be in some way attract their attention before they even read your book.
Right. Yeah. Well, Tim, I don't know. In class, I had a bunch of those interviews with professionals. Did you listen to any of those by any chance? Yeah. I don't think I required any of them, but
I think I listened to a couple of them. But yeah.
So I probably got I don't know 25 of them, all with. So one of the things I did in my class for those of you who weren't my former students, a long time ago, what I would do, or several years ago, what I would do is once a month I would have a comic book writer on with my students, and then they would ask questions about working as a writer, the industry, and that kind of thing. I stopped doing it because it was a voluntary thing, and my students stopped coming. And it was like, I don't understand. I am getting the guy who co-created Deadpool here, and you don't want to come and ask him questions.
Right.
What the heck?
Right.
So yeah, I stopped doing that because my students frustrated me. But I still have a whole bunch of them there, and I make them available for even to my classes now. But one thing, having done it over the span of 2 years, I guess, I noticed a common thing, because one of the question I would ask at the very end is like, okay, if you had one bit of advice to give my students, what would you say? And now, not always in the same language, but I'm going to sum it up in Roland language. But basically, it was, don't be a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really the most common advice that every one of them gave universally. Don't be a jerk, because nobody wants to work with a jerk. And I can say that's absolutely true. One of my personal goals in kind of going back sometime and recruiting for Silverline is that I wanted to bring people into Silverline that I want to hang out with and that I wanted to work with. I mean, that's why, for me, this is why I find these streams so enjoyable, is because I like you guys.
Oh, Roland, you're swell.
But that's it is a truth that you don't want to work with a jerk, and nobody wants to. And I think there are some people who didn't get that memo.
That's a good life lesson.
No.
Heck, Roland, I knew I liked you that first time we hung out for like 6 hours.
I know, it was crazy. Yeah, I told my wife, I said, I'm just going to go lunch. And she said, how long are you going to be? I said, probably longer than a lunch, because it's Rory and Steam Patriots. So I told her, I said, probably like 2 hours. And then it's like 4 hours later, and I'm like, sorry, we were like,
whoops.
Yeah. It was a problem. So okay, well, like always happens, I just look up to my clock and realize that it's nearly 11 o'clock. So
Yep.
Tommy Post here, he's got no power. Really sorry, Tommy. We missed you here. We talked about you during the break that you couldn't hear it. No, just kidding. Hopefully your power comes back on and you can get back to working. And Nita Taylor Lanning says too soon. What was she saying too soon about?
I think the light.
Oh, the fire.
Fire.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, things are almost never too soon for me.
I mean, that's the problem, is that one of those people are like, I will literally be on fire and be cracking jokes about it, because
yeah,
how do I process this?
I'm here. That's just me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, so we appreciate everybody hanging with us tonight. As always, please don't forget to like and subscribe and follow. We're on 3 different platforms. Most of you are watching us via Facebook, but I know a bunch of you will watch the YouTube later. And then we've also got a few on Twitch. So if you're on those platforms, even if you're watching us on a different one, please go and follow us and like us and subscribe to us, because all the numbers help us. So we're going to run through and tell folks where you can find us. But first, I just want to remind you of our merch store. The link will be in the description below. Go check out the merch. And also, please go check out the link for the upcoming Kickstarter, which will start. It will start before this stream, before Wednesday Wham is back on. So hopefully next Wednesday Wham, they'll give you an update on how the Kickstarter is doing. So go and and follow that. Click on the little button that says notify me on launch. I just refreshed and there's 36 followers. So I'm hoping that after you see this tomorrow, we'll get up to about 50 followers. That's what I hope we do. So we'll just go around, folks. Tell people where they can find you. See, Michael, where can folks find you on the interwebs?
The best place right now is Facebook. Plan on doing a couple of other things eventually, but right now the best place is to friend me on Facebook. And actually, believe it or not, for some reason, my Twitter account seems to be buzzing. I've gotten a lot of follows there.
Nice.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess that's Silverline because that's not me.
Woohoo!
But that's under,
Hey.
look for C. Michael Lanning, drop the G, add a 2, and you'll find me.
Well, my good friend Kurtis said this probably. I don't know if it was a private conversation or it was during our stream last time. He said, "A rising tide lifts all boats." Right. So you're getting people to follow you. Hopefully that is because of some of the other Silverline stuff, and it will lift all boats. That is part of my hope. Cool. Tim, TK, where can folks find you?
I am Tim TK Writer on Twitter, Instagram, Liker, Facebook. I am Tim Doesn't TikTok on TikTok, and I'm on Twitch at Aggro Bacon, where I will be live later tonight, probably playing Marvel's Avengers.
Marvel's Avengers. I've seen a little bit. How do you like that?
I'm enjoying it a lot. It's not for everyone. It needs some TLC, but if you like comics and you like looter games like Destiny, Diablo, Borderlands, it hits the nail on the head.
Wow, I played Diablo 1.
Okay.
If that tells you anything.
Yeah.
It's been a
Yeah.
while, I would listen.
Yeah, been a while. Been a minute. Rory, what about you? Where can folks find you on the interwebs?
Everyone can find me and Scott at Steam Patriots at Twitter and The Gram.
And The Gram, huh?
That's what the kids are calling
Instagram.
it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what we called my grandma, The Gram.
The Gram.
And we're pretty close to seeing Steam Patriots finished, right? Pretty
That's
close.
correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Very close.
Excellent. And Mickey, what about you? Where can folks find you on the interwebs?
Mindwinder Studios.
Mindwinder Studios. Okay.
Thing on Instagram. And then Twitter, I guess, I think it's Mindwinder1. So,
Okay.
about it. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we'll make sure we have all those links below. Mickey, so glad you could join us tonight. And Haley, where can folks find you?
Well, my Instagram and Twitter name, I've been thinking about changing it because it's Nelmatharia, which is hard to spell and pronounce. But
yeah,
I made it up a long time ago. It's the same letters of Haley Martin, like mixed up.
No.
But I've been trying to find if I want.
That was during you were probably 15 during your D&D days, right?
Yeah, somewhere around then. Yeah,
You
it
never
actually,
leave the
it wasn't
D&D days.
D&D, but it actually was a character. from the
See?
story, so yeah, close. Yeah, but yeah, so that is NELMATHYRIA. But yeah, that may change soon.
Okay.
All right.
Things that I wanted are already taken, but
We need a D&D one shot here.
I know. Yep.
Okay. And as a reminder, everyone, I will have all of these links in the description below so that you can click on them and go visit and like and follow all of the Silverline creators here because we need your support. We can't do these things without you, and we appreciate you very much. I am Roland Mann. You can find me at Roland Mann on Facebook, and you can find me Man Roland on the gram, if that's what we're calling it. And until remember our Sunday stream will be here Sunday at 9 p.m. We'll be talking about the exact same thing we talked about tonight, but with a whole different crew. And we'll see.
Don't steal our jokes, Roland.
Too late. I wrote them all down. See, I wrote them all down here. And until then, don't forget to make mine Silverline.
Silverline.
Good night, everyone.
Right.